Relations between the government of Hong Kong and the Republic of China encompass both when the Republic of China controlled mainland China, and afterwards, when the Republic of China fled to Taiwan. Before 1842, both regions were part of the Qing dynasty. In 1842, Hong Kong Island was ceded to the British Empire as a result of the First Opium War. And in 1895, Taiwan was ceded to the Empire of Japan as a result of the First Sino-Japanese War. Sun Yat-sen was a student in Hong Kong in the late 1800s and believed that the Qing dynasty's ineffectiveness and loss in the First Sino-Japanese War necessitated a revolution to replace Chinese dynasties with a modern republic. In 1888, he was pictured in Hong Kong as a member of the Four Bandits, a group that met to discuss overthrowing the Qing dynasty. And in 1894, he began the formation of the Revived China Society to overthrow the Qing dynasty. On the 21st of February 1895, while at a Revived China Society meeting in Hong Kong, Lu Haodong presented his blue sky with a white sun design, which became the emblem of the Republic of China. The Revived China Society was headquartered at 13 Staunton Street in Hong Kong. And in 1905 it was merged with other groups to form the Tong Menvi. This organization had wide support among Chinese, and played a key role in uprisings started by revolutionaries, including the Xinhai Revolution in 1911, which overthrew the Qing dynasty. After the success of the Xinhai Revolution, Sun Yat-sen declared the establishment of the Republic of China on 1 January 1912, and was inaugurated as the first provisional president. Later that same year in August 1912, the Tong Menvi merged with other groups to create the Kuomintang, and Sun Yat-sen was chosen as its leader. Sun Yat-sen returned to Hong Kong in 1923 to visit the University of Hong Kong, which had incorporated the Hong Kong College of Medicine for Chinese as its medical school, of which Sun Yat-sen was an early alumni. During his visit at HKU, he gave a speech and declared Hong Kong's inspiration to him in the revolutions that eventually created the Republic of China. That is the answer to the question, where did I get my revolutionary ideas? It is entirely in Hong Kong. In addition to being the origin of his revolutionary ideas, Hong Kong also offered protection to some of his family members. Sun Yat-sen's mother, Lady Yang, resided with his eldest brother, Dai Zhang, in Kowloon City, after Sun Yat-sen was placed on a wanted list by the Qing government. With Sun Yat-sen's death in 1925, Chiang Kai-shek became leader of the KMT and Sun Yat-sen's successor, eventually unifying China under the nationalist government in 1928. Long-standing United States policy held the belief that China should not be colonized. The United States, in 1899, had advocated the open door policy, which communicated that China should not be partitioned and colonized. The Nine-Power Treaty in 1922, signed by the British, affirmed the open door policy and territorial integrity of China. In July 1940, Winston Churchill declared in Parliament that, "We desire to see China's status and integrity preserved," and as was indicated in our note of 14 January 1939, "We are ready to negotiate with the Chinese government, after the conclusion of peace, the abolition of extraterritorial rights, the rendition of concessions and the revision of treaties on the basis of reciprocity and equality, affirming territorial integrity and relinquishment of extraterritorial rights in China." The idea of territorial integrity and decolonization was further encapsulated in the August 1941 Atlantic Charter Statement, issued by Franklin Roosevelt and Winston Churchill, stipulating that territorial adjustments must be in accord with the wishes of the peoples concerned. Though Winston Churchill did not want British colonies to decolonize, he agreed to the Atlantic Charter's decolonization provisions, to get the Americans into the war, with military aid on the side of the Allies. On 1 January 1942, the Declaration of the United Nations was signed by the Big Four, stipulating that the Atlantic Charter's pledges should be upheld, which later became the basis of the Charter of the United Nations in 1945. The nationalist government had requested from the British that British pilots serve as advisors in the Nationalist Air Force, and also requested that the nationalists be allowed to create a secret airplane factory in Hong Kong. The British denied those requests. In January 1941, as the Japanese military advanced in mainland China towards Hong Kong, UK Prime Minister Winston Churchill was reluctant to defend the colony, and said that defensive troops should be reduced to a symbolical scale there. By the summer of 1941, the British and nationalists, under Chiang Kai-shek, had a military cooperation agreement, agreeing that if Hong Kong were attacked by the Japanese, then the nationalists would attack the Japanese from the rear and provide relief to the